There's a quiet turning point in certain relationships that almost nobody warns you about. It's the day you stop explaining yourself. You stop chasing understanding. You stop defending how you felt. You stop writing the long paragraph that proves you meant no harm. You stop apologizing for things that were never yours to carry. You stop doing all the emotional heavy lifting for someone who wasn't really listening anyway. And then something odd happens. They cool off. They pull back. They go quiet in a way you haven't seen before. Not always because the caring stopped. Sometimes because they got comfortable with a version of you that was endlessly available, always reaching, always smoothing things over, always the first to bend. Take that version away, and something in them starts to itch, and there's an actual reason for it. Here's what most people miss. There's a strange kind of power in being the one who never has to explain. You can stay vague. You can leave a message unanswered. You can let the other person do all the guessing while you look perfectly calm from the outside. As long as she keeps filling the silence, or he keeps circling back, the balance leans in their favor. Then you stop, and the whole thing tips. Now they have to sit inside the quiet they created. Now they have to face the empty space they were counting on you to fill. That's usually where the discomfort starts, because some people aren't attached to you as much as they're attached to the role you kept playing. The understanding one, the patient one, the one who always texted first, always softened the edge of an argument, always made the hard talk a little easier. To them, that felt like normal life. To you, it felt like slowly running out of air. So one day you just stopped. Not because you turned cold, because you got tired. And tired people eventually start guarding what little peace they have left. That's when your absence lands differently, not just as missing you, but as something heavier underneath it. Because when you stop overgiving, it forces them to admit something they'd been dodging. This relationship was held up mostly by your effort, more than they ever wanted to say out loud. And that admission can make people defensive. It can make them act distant. It can even make them irritated, like your calm is somehow the offense. But your quiet isn't the problem. Your quiet is a mirror, and some people can't stand what shows up in it. They don't like seeing how much they leaned on your emotional labor without ever naming it. How easy it was to hand you the weight. How your patience, which felt bottomless to them, actually had a flaw. There's another layer here, too. When you stop explaining, you stop feeding someone's need to control the story. A lot of people feel safe when they get to define what happened for both sides. If they misread you and you scramble to correct it, they keep the upper hand. If they go silent and you keep talking, they stay protected while you stay exposed. But the moment you stop rushing to close the gap, their mind has to work, and that creates pressure. Because now you're harder to predict. They don't know if you'll reach out again. They don't know if you'll keep trying. They don't know if you finally figured out that being misunderstood doesn't make you responsible for their comfort. To someone used to being chased and forgiven and emotionally managed, that shift feels like a threat. So when it stops, they rarely say, "I miss you." Sometimes they say nothing, they just go cold. Because coldness is easier than admitting they're no longer at the center of your attention, and that's the real thing underneath it. When someone gets used to being important in your inner world, your stepping back doesn't just feel like lost contact. It feels like losing a version of themselves, the one that existed when they knew they could still pull a reaction out of you. That's why some people get bothered the second you find peace. They were comfortable when you were confused, comfortable when you were trying too hard, comfortable while your energy kept bending toward them. So if someone's gotten colder since you stopped over-explaining, don't rush to assume you broke something. Sometimes your calm is just exposing how much they were feeding off your exhaustion. The coldness isn't proof you lost them. It's proof they lost access to the version of you that quietly kept everything alive. Your love didn't get colder. Your self-respect just got louder. If this reached you, drop one word below enough. And if you want more relationship psychology told slow and human, stay here with Heart Whisper.